Welcome to The Explainer. Today, we're going to dive into the secret mechanics of the English language. You know, all those hidden patterns that make it all click. It all comes down to one little thing: where you put the emphasis, the stress. Just that one tiny shift in sound, it completely changes the meaning. It goes from a noun, a thing, to a verb, an action. And you know what? English is absolutely full of these little tricks. All right, so let's get into it. We're going to go on a journey from the smallest sound all the way up to a solid sentence. We're going to uncover the patterns that make English actually work. It's kind of like learning the secret code behind a language you already think you know. Okay, we're going to start with the absolute foundation, this syllable. Think of it as the basic beat or unit of sound in any word. And trust me, it's the first key to unlocking how everything is pronounced. Just think back to when you were a kid, right? Learning to read. You didn't just spit out a word like independent all at once, did you? No way. It would have been a total mouthful. Of course not. You broke it down into smaller pieces, into beats, right? Something like this. Independent. See? Each of those pieces, each one of those sounds, that's a syllable. It's just the natural way our brains chew on a word. And this right here, this is the first real key to understanding the rhythm of the language. Some words have just one beat, like sun. Others have two, like tiger. And some have three, like honesty. Just hearing these beats is the very first step to sounding natural when you speak. Okay, so now that we've got a feel for the individual beats, let's see what happens next. The next step is finding the one beat in a word that gets a little extra oomph, a bit more emphasis. And that, my friends, is what we call word stress. This is literally the difference between speaking like a robot, slowly, and speaking like a real person, with some rhythm and flow. We all instinctively say slowly, putting that stress on the first part. We don't even think about it. Okay, now this is where it gets really, really cool. That little bit of stress can totally change what a word does. Check out the pattern here for a ton of two-syllable words. When it's a noun, the stress is usually on the first syllable, present. But when it's a verb, bam, the stress jumps to the second syllable, present. I know. English can feel totally random sometimes, but there are for sure some patterns, and here are a few handy cheat codes for you. You see a word ending in tation or scission, the stress is almost always on the syllable right before it. Think about it. Education, permission. It's one of those things that once you see it, you just can't unsee it. All right, let's zoom out for a second. We've been looking at tiny little words. Now let's talk about the structure of whole ideas. And what's wild is that the same exact principles, emphasis, clarity, that we use in speaking, they are the absolute key to writing well too. We're not talking about writing the next great American novel here. This is about clear, direct communication. Think about a user manual, a brochure for a business, or a research report. The whole point is for someone to read it and get it, right away. Any great piece of writing kicks off with a strong topic statement. It basically just tells the reader, hey, this is what I'm about to tell you. I mean, look at this quote. It's so clear, so powerful. It lays out the whole idea in one sentence. There's just no room for confusion. So here's the bottom line. A really well-organized paragraph follows this simple, logical flow. It's like building something. First, you lay down the foundation. That's your main idea. Then you build the walls with your evidence and details. And finally, you put the roof on with a conclusion. It just guides the reader perfectly from start to finish. Okay, you've hung in there and learned about syllables, stress, and structure. So, I think it's time for a little pop quiz. Let's see how much of this has stuck. You ready? All right, first question. How many beats, how many syllables are in the word speculation? Go ahead, sound it out. Do you hear 3, 5, or 4? And the answer is 4. That's right, spec-you-lay-shin. Every single one of those vowel sounds creates its own little beat, its own syllable. Okay, next up, let's think about stress again. Listen to this sentence. The company projects its estimated spending. So in that case, the word projects is a verb, an action. So where does that emphasis land? You got it. It's projects. The stress shifts right over to that second syllable. It's exactly like what we saw with the verb present. It follows that noun-verb stress rule perfectly. See? Patterns. Okay, last one. This one is all about picking the perfect word for that clear, direct writing we were talking about. So which of these words is the best synonym for trigger? The answer is produce. Yup, both words basically mean to cause something to happen, to cause an action or a result. And choosing the right, most precise word like that is absolutely essential for that professional, direct writing style we talked about earlier.
Whew! Okay, so we've gone on a whole journey, haven't we? From the tiny little beat of a single word all the way up to the structure of a powerful paragraph. So let's wrap this all up with the key takeaways.
Think of this as your new communication toolkit. Seriously, getting a handle on syllables and stress, it's going to make you a much better, more natural speaker. And understanding paragraph structure, that makes you a clearer, more persuasive writer. You see how it's all connected? These aren't just boring rules to memorize, they are actual tools you can use. If there's one thing you take away from all this, it should be this. Language is not random. It's a system, and it's built on all these cool patterns. And the best part is, once you start looking for these hidden rules of sound and sense, you'll start seeing them everywhere. I promise. So, the real question I have for you is, what are you going to notice next?